Who's your heart beating for? Who's your heart beating for in this life?
Both what you love and what you hate are reflections of yourself.
Yes.
And so seeing what your love walk, your love mission, your love journey is, I can't help but wonder. Now, part of this I know, but the folks at home may not. So I'd like to kind of clue them in on where do you think this interest, this passion for creating that balance, that connection, that community, that being understood, being heard, where did that come from? Where in your love journey did that arise in you, and how was that cultivated?
Wow. Whew. I mean, I would love to say that it was by example in my personal life, but I think that I would have to say that it was the opposite, you know. Aside from, what's that?
So by a negative example?
In a certain way. On the one hand, I would say that music and literature set the stage for what was my example.
Okay.
When I believe it was 14 or so, I read the Diary of Anne Frank for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Anne Frank, you know, in the midst of World War II saying, you know, even in the midst of this all, I still believe there is good in the world. And the notion of beauty and life itself, mm-hmm. and the world itself, mm-hmm. being this incredible thing, and being able to fall in love, and being able to notice beautiful things. And then in my field and in my work and in learning about the brain, mm-hmm. which is to me, you know, a great love affair, mm-hmm. and knowing that our neurology and our wiring, one of the things that led me to choose my therapist, mm-hmm. Was the fact that on his website, he said that we have an innate wiring and desire to be the happiest version of ourselves. Our DNA, our truest sense of self actually does want and lean toward our greatest happiness. And so, in fact, we actually do have to work hard to be miserable. We just don't necessarily see it, right? But those habits, once those habits are formed, it's very easy to keep the habit of misery, right? But once we choose love and gratitude, that habit is very easy to keep. But it's very difficult to choose and get that started sometimes, right?
What led you to that choice, if that was not your default?
I think that I saw so many people in my family not choosing it. And I wanted to be the one who would choose unconditional love. And I wanted to be the one who could prove that we did not need to be what we come from, that somebody could break a chain and show that the world could be beautiful, and show that somebody can offer and be enough, right? That there is a way to fill the cup. And I had people in my immediate family that saw the cup constantly half on full. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to always fill that cup, right? And being a people pleaser and an enabler and living with narcissists and people with a lot of mental health issues, I wanted to always be able to figure out a way to be able to say, oh no, but I'll love you enough, and I'll show you that I can be good enough. And unfortunately, we can't. But when you're younger and you don't know that yet, you strive for it. And I wanted to find a way to be able to let people know that they're enough and that they for themselves can be enough, and that no, we can never be that for other people. But that if we focus on our own wellness and focus on our own happiness, that we can heal ourselves, and that when we live our own best lives, that we all actually create a union of energy that actually does create a ripple effect in the world. And we have that happen at Atlas every day. And when I was teaching, I remember saying to my staff, listen, when we're in this bubble of our classroom, we can't impact and control what happens everywhere else in the school. We can't impact what happens in the city. We can't impact global education necessarily. Unless you're going into politics and you gotta know the enemy to change the enemy, right?
Yep.
However, we can set an example, and we can choose to be happy, and we can choose to make our kids as happy as we can for the time we have them. And if the students' parents are not knowing that their kids have a certain capacity of learning, they can know that we believe in them, and they can start to see that their kids are feeling happy and start seeing progress notes and start to see that their kids are coming home happy from school. And we can start sending them pictures, and we can start sending them video. And then maybe they're going to be willing to come in, and we can do that together with them. And maybe they start trying it on their own, and maybe they don't. But no matter what, that kid gets the experience themselves of seeing somebody feel good and loving up on them. And that makes a change. And that's enough. And that does something. And that really is, for me, a love mission that has been working, and I'm sticking with it, and I'm bringing that out to the community beyond our school. I sit on multiple boards, and I get the chance to collaborate with other schools, that I'm not directly working with. And it's been amazing to see other schools who some might say, oh, but that's competition. Why would you go and connect with them? Well, no, because it's not competition. We can't serve everybody alone. And that feels really good to be able to say, it's like that expression, a true queen can fix the crown of another queen without worry that it's going to take away from their own beauty.